Trick-a-butt-track.
Until he decided that he
like,
had reached a clever conclusion. Yeah, oh
god. Here we are back in the studio with our listeners.
Is it on? Is it recording?
It is on. It is recording.
How do I tell?
Yeah, it's recording. There's a little. You see this right here?
Oh yeah. I couldn't tell. I was looking for any hint of red. Or
it was kind of blending into the guitar in the image.
Yeah, exactly. My guitar was right here, and the record is right here. And I was like peering in the corners. So this one's Tennis Court. For those of you who are like, I love the Trick Flower Trick by Tracks, but I hate when they talk about anything but.
We need the hard-hitting journalism, the hard-hitting tidbits.
They're like, what filter did you use on this specific drum? And you're like, sorry, we didn't have time. We can't talk about it.
Do you want me to go into the session and find all that shit?
I bought brushes for like my iPad Procreate program the other day, and I was like, I'm like buying plugins. I'm like a tech guy now. I'm not. Like I downloaded.
Yeah, I've got to get more plugins. I'm using this free reverb that I kind of know how to use.
Yeah, exactly. I know how to use it,
and it does this cool thing if you like turn one of the dials all the way down.
So now before we ruin it, tell the audience your 3 favorite plugins so they don't have to clamor.
I don't know if I have.
Got like an anime hair today.
I was gonna get the Valhalla series, which is sort of like a semi-budget option that a lot of people use
for some is it distortion or is it echo?
It's a bunch of things. You can get like reverbs and a lot of there's a lot of reverbs, and I think there's some like modulation shit too.
You can't literally eat his clothes, dude. Like that's crazy. Pippin just ate a wire, so.
Not chewed through a wire. Luckily, she didn't eat the wire. She swallowed it whole.
5 yards of wire. Yeah, it's gonna be an awkward poop later.
Yeah, they've happened before. No.
But yeah, so this one is Tennis Court. Exactly.
Yes. So this was another. This is another Mostly Me song.
Yeah.
This was a song that I began as a strange little guitar demo.
Yeah. Had this
sort of like there's like an intentional wrong note.
Yeah.
It's a little strange.
Yeah, and I think that's why the that like Japanese koto scale at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were like, oh, well, could we use this? And I was like, sure, we recorded it, and then I think we actually recorded it in the wrong key.
Oh,
which
so
was
we
funny,
just
and then I pitched it to the right one.
Sounds extra awkward.
Yeah.
I know
it's only slight.
niches, but this album has so many weird little pockets because it was a little more all over the place.
And we had so it's and it was we had been talking about the concept more, and it was like characters, and I was like, I'll do a character.
Yeah,
song.
That's the song I was gonna say that gets the assignment most and wins. That, and maybe Robot v Crane. But
And
it
was
explicit.
Yes. It's about it's about 2 gentlemen at sort of like a country club kind of thing, like a city
country club.
I imagine it on like a rooftop.
Yes, exactly.
Like in New York, in Manhattan, there's like a tennis court there with like a nice restaurant and a pool, and it's where all these bronzed, elderly gentlemen hang out, and 2 of them fall in love, and the best metaphor for this was the last line is "move right in, play doubles now."
Yes, exactly.
I was like, I did it.
Yeah,
tennis metaphor.
Yeah, we don't often do the wraparound lyric, the metaphor, and the hip hop and the Alex Turnering. Yeah, maybe a little, but that was definitely like because it was an explicit story, kind of. It was an interesting writing exercise, really.
And your section is like the proposal, right?
Yes, moment and I do it like emotionally because I was trying to contrast your hard facts and details by just having the proposal be a purely emotional
and this because I wrote that section with guitar even more, so it's more of like a rocking section. It's a little bit more urgent sounding. The other ones are a little bit like
laid back.
And there's sort of like a ping pong vocal thing. It's like they're going back and forth. Tennis ball back and forth. Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy how just adding the theme in a very Sondheimian way just leads it down its own primrose path. You're just like, well, it's about this, so I'm a good artist.
I had a lot of fun writing that one.
And I like it because it actually contrasts the young lovers from Friend, and into the old lovers. Yeah. Whereas the young lovers are breaking up, the old lovers are finding each other.
An elderly couple angle I felt hadn't been done very often.
Yeah, no, that was what made it unique and fun and different. It's like, it's very cinematic, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun. There's we were talking about this the other day, and you thought that it was one of the other synthy ones that I
did, I thought, yeah.
And
just because
it actually wasn't. It started out as like a guitar loop
of
those in the
But
verse.
I guess not synthy, but like you figuring out logic or whatever.
But it actually wasn't that. It was a new fully Trick Flower era recording.
Post the collab.
And I was just like, I just like need to throw some ideas together. I had also been, for Beverly is interesting because I was working on a solo album at the same time.
Yeah.
So I had all these songs that I was also working on, and they were a little bit more personal and definitely more somber and sad.
Yeah, so it must have been fun to go.
And so it was, and it was also just like, I'll just like do something completely different.
Yeah.
So it was a good contrast. That album is yet to be released. One day I'll record drums for it. Yeah, I had like a version.
Yeah, I remember this because you were like, I'm going to come record drums one day.
Yeah, one day I'll record drums for it. Yeah. Because it's not that much, There's like one vocal line I think I can do a little better, but it's like I have this full album just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Tennis Court... also mixed by me, one of the few of the back half where we're like, do we want to pay to mix again?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Anything else about it?
No, it's a simple little ditty.
Yeah, it's sort of about that loop, that interesting loop that I started with.
Yeah, it's a groove song.
Yeah.
But it's one of those songs where you're like, how are we going to play it live? It has so many...
So yeah, it's like three guitar parts that repeat.
So I think that's why it's kind of forgotten.
There's like a marimba.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
It would just be us pressing play and then singing to it, pretty much. Maybe we could do the middle part.
And we were like, we should do more songs that we play together and can play live, because we were going to do open mics and stuff.
Yeah. So like the Robot v. Cranes,
and then the Save the Dates.
The Save the Dates.
Which will always be, the precursor to what could have been a very different Chordcoutrements. If the pandemic hadn't we would have written in each other's
Truly a pandemic double album, which seemed to just keep cropping up. They're like, we wrote a lot of songs too.
There was this period of time where I had downtime and Fred had downtime and
imagine, I don't know,
Sandy had downtime.
It's not at all a unique experience, but here we are. Double album.
But yeah, I'm good on Tennis Court.
Tennis Court.
I only got to write that little section and offer my intro. So
yeah,
I was happy to do it. I hope I nailed the assignment.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I thought that was... I like getting to be, like, omnipotently poetic, like, kind of writing from an omniscient standpoint. And I think I got to do that. Like, I want to write more, like, one of my favorite records is Hear My Dear by Marvin Gaye, which is overly confessional. But not in this day and age, but back then. And, so it was kind of nice to, like, talk about things in a cosmic way.
Yeah.
And I kind of tried to verbalize that, like, space that you feel like you belong in with a lover that's outside of time. And,
for me it was all about the little wordplay.
Yeah, the on the ground stuff.
Salt
That's
and pepper, just like little details.
I'd never heard you do that before. Because when we wrote Lucky Cycle, you were very... You're just a very ethereal writer.
Yeah,
is one way of putting it. And so I was excited by the new writing style, and it's that excitement that makes art. It's that back and forth, that tennis match.
I think the only other thing that can really be said about this one is because you initially were like, do we want this on the album?
I was hesitant.
And I don't think we had finished Easy Cure yet, very bad, but I was like, because you were like, oh, it might be too synthy. We have all these guitar songs. And I was like, well, actually did start as a guitar song.
Yeah,
it's guitars. Yeah. And then a bunch of crap added onto it. But, but then you hear, it coming after Easy Cure.
Yeah, helps.
It's not a big deal. Because it's like Easy Cure is just like, synth. Synth,
Right,
it's very electronic.
It
grooves it back in a little bit, and there's the rock and middle section, and I think it works. And then
we'll have now that people know that information, it'll be Her Majesty's a Pretty Nice Girl. People will be like, it never should have been there. They're like,
why are you getting upset about Her Majesty, which is like all of 10 seconds?
Yeah, I once watched a cover band
just accidentally forget to listen to it.
Abbey Road melody, and they pretentiously put the because originally before they released
it,
remix,
he has some fan remix of
a live one.
Okay.
And so they put Her Majesty before the outro, which it is the outro because Paul McCartney originally had it, as well in a different place, and. So that's one of those.
Was
fan
that
calls.
one? Was that? Am I remembering this right? Was that saved by an engineer?
Possibly, potentially. Yeah, he just tacked it on at the end. Yeah. I think that is that one.
And they didn't necessarily remember what was going to happen.
Yeah, Paul was like, I can't remember if we agreed or not to put that on. So who gives a shit? John doesn't like the medley anyway.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very sad.
Oh, John.
Sad Paul right now.
Sad Paul.
Which barely ever happens. He had to go to a cabin to be sad, or a farm in Kintyre or whatever in Scotland. I think is where his farm was, where he wrote Ram. To be sad, he was like, my sadness is too much for people. I have to go hide myself and be with Linda.
Yeah, be with Linda. Have a farm.
But yeah, that's tennis court.
Be with my Ram.
Grab it by the horns. So if tennis court is your favorite, I hope we've sufficiently supplied you with the information.
I'm trying to. It's like, are there any?
It's a simple one. I don't even. Are the chords different in the chorus, or is it just that one loop? And then the bridge.
I think the thing is there is no real chorus.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like a little.
Yeah, it's a loping.
Yeah.
It is. It follows the.
Your section is sort of what fulfills that bigger energy.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, and I was going to say that, again, with the whole mirroring thing, I think that was initially supposed to mirror another song where you have the bridge.
Yes.
And it's either Friend, and that ended up being a chorus, but there is a reason that we picked where we sang. And if you want to have fun, you can do a little puzzle of who sang where and what. Because I'm a total nerd, and I once mapped out exactly how much time John and Paul spent singing on Beatles records.
Yeah. Is Let It Be, I think we talked about Let It Be is very Paul-centric, right?
And Let It Be, and then Abbey Road, I think
he's more Paul as well.
Only because of Revolution number 9. I think I took that out of the equation, or reduced it.
Well, that's the White Album, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I think he's heavy on the White and Let It Be. Paul is, and then it's more 50-50 on the other ones.
Okay, gotcha.
And then there's one where John has like a slightly, I think in the early days when he's like really doing his John Lee Hooker impression, and he's like, I'm a big tough guy.
He was the eldest.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a domineering presence or something.
Okay, John. John, you're the leader of the Beatles?
That's right, I am.
Thank you for securing me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was tearing that up. But that's tennis court. Bye.